Hey, what's up, guys? After this week that I just had, I have to announce that I have to quit. I hate those words. It's literally been 3 days, so I have to quit the 4900 for right now. Wanted to talk about the series of events that happened that led to me having to put my baby in a medically induced coma for a week or so until parts arrive. I started hearing motors sound slow as I was printing. Every time the print head docked, I would hear the motor kind of sound boggled down. I decided to take a look underneath because the casing. I didn't take it off. I don't take it off. Now, mind you, I did have in mind this week to do the maintenance on this machine, but I've been in such a rut that I kept pushing the machine past the maintenance I needed to do. So when I went in to go and see what was going on, I realized everything was gunked up. The capping station cap was seized open. The ink on top of the capping station was pretty solid rough. Mind you, I had went a few days without printing. My printer is in heat. The AC had turned off. I had forgotten I turned off the AC and just walked off and never came back in through my unmotivational storm that I had this week. Needless to say, I needed to print X amount of prints. I literally got to the last print, right? I'd taken 3 new orders that day, got to the last print to realize no paper, right? I go to order from a supplier that I really wanted to test out, and for some reason I can't make the transaction with the company, but I have ordered plenty of times other things from China and it's been good. So again, with my unmotivational storm, I pushed everything back. Finally woke up one morning and was like, what the hell am I doing? Gave myself a pep talk, sat in the shower, kick, scream, cried about whatever it was that my brain was going through, right? Because you always feel better. Come back in the lab to get work started, and I run into this issue that I hear. So I go to run a print head clean. That was the worst thing you can do. But I went to run that just to get the print head to move and cut it off. But I started doing something over here and allowed it to go through the print head clean. After the print head clean, the print head moved back and I heard a loud clunk and the print head kind of seized between Okay, sorry about that, guys. I have allergies on top of everything this morning. So the print head seized between the sponge and the bed of the printer. With an initial error to shut it down and return it on. I want to say it was 141 or 1430 something. Shut the printer down. Turn it back on. It does its thing. The motor still... I turn the printer off, sorry. Clean out those areas before I turn it back on because I realized how much gunk. But the damage was already done and I didn't know that. Spent the day cleaning all 3 parts, wiper blade, the the sponge and that other little color carrier. I can't think of the name, but I'll have pictures of it in the group as we go. So then I do the maintenance I need to do on it, and then I decide to turn the printer back on because I was already done with the maintenance. When I do turn the printer back on, I kind of hear the scraping noise. I ignore it. I don't know why. I start to test print something, and I hear a scraping noise severely on the sheet. So I then try to look, didn't see nothing. I go to the front of the printer and shine my flashlight to kind of look at the bottom, and you can see like a piece of metal touching, not touching on some spots. Had never seen it before, when looking at the bottom of the printer, so that stood out. I look over to the area, and something looks off to me. So I go to turn on, to let the printer do its thing, obviously. By the time it gets done doing its thing, I get a 1A 39 error, which means the main board or the FFC cable ribbon is loose or put in partially, or the print head is damaged. So this could be all things, right? Considering now that you guys know what happened to the printer came to a complete lock because of that bracket underneath that it had stuck on the bottom of the print head. It jammed. So either when it did jam because the print head rolled right over, there's no way for me to shut it down. By the time I got to that main power source, you guys see how my printers are piled up, the damage was already done. I pulled it out, I turned it on, I watched a couple of videos on the wide format 24-inch. This error happens, and they unplugged the CN 100, 102, and 103 ribbons. So I went ahead and took apart the entire printer on every side because the ribbons are placed accordingly by numbers, right? But I didn't realize that the ribbons I needed were on the main board in the back because they were on the very back, right? Or on the very back of the tray that you pull off. So I just kept cleaning it, unplugging the ribbons. I purchased the service programs. Let me tell you, the counters on everything on this printer were through the roof in the millions. 3-digit millions, okay? So I cleared every counter. So this printer literally was due for some service prior to that day, right? And I had a feeling because literally I had all my tools to get things done, and I just didn't get to it on time. Had I not went for that print and paid attention to what the printer was doing, I would have been able to catch it without the damage. But here we are, the damage is done. I've already dealt with being my ink procrastination issue this week, right? Where I didn't order my inks on time, and here we are racing against time and money, right? I do this to myself all the time. So if there's one thing you guys wonder that I fail at, is sitting my butt down and ordering what I need to order. Now, my t-shirts don't do that because every month I have a set amount that comes to me, which I have to stop because I haven't been doing as many t-shirts. But now with DTF Supplies, there's not a company that'll do that for me. So here I am. But needless to say, I took apart the whole printer. I literally touched every mechanical piece. I reset every counter this printer has, and you'd be surprised when you get that maintenance, the service program, how much this printer tracks, okay, and what you can do with it. So for right now, unfortunately, I have to order those 3 pieces. Because with everyone else having the issue with this printer, it just woke up and started doing that. In my case, it literally had something lodged in the print head. So I can imagine the damage that was done. Upon researching print heads extensively, because of course now I had to read the manual to understand the printer, and then I had to read the service manual to understand how to service it, which is not much, but enough to help you get the case off, right? I read those 2 manuals. I literally touched everything in the printer, and it's still failing. I do believe the ribbon cable, the FFC cable, could be the main issue, but I also researched print heads, and there's thousands of tiny, tiny microscopic cords in the print heads. So, being that that metal piece lodged at the bottom and it was all kinds of crinkled, it could have very well messed one of those cords up, and that being a problem. I didn't want to give up only because I kept getting to 99% charged and then getting the errors. So there's obviously a connection within the main board, and there isn't a blown fuse or none of that. So once again, once I touched everything, I went back in and realized that it's really the print head. Somewhere on the print head got something on the print head got damaged. So I don't like to give up or until things are fixed, but unfortunately I can't keep running the printer. I'm not getting any kind of resolution. I literally went through every error this printer can have. I'm pretty darn certain of it. I got through one problem and then another. So it was really due for some servicing time, right? So I just wanted to kind of look, I'm a mess. Like, I have ink everywhere. You have no idea. I had to take a shower with Windex to get half of the ink off in places. My face, I had it everywhere. Freaking days where I had one meal because I forgot to eat. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sit down and eat. I was in the middle of tinkering around. Now, before I completely shut her off and put her in a medically induced coma and order these parts today, I'm gonna do my last whirl and see if it'll fix it. If not, I've come to terms, and my brain has to too, that this isn't going to work unless I change the print head or the FCC cable. Now, if it's the FCC cable, to run that smoothly is going to be heck. We're talking the thing runs all around from top, side, all the way to the back. And this is pretty much puzzled in, so you can't take out one piece without taking out the other. So by the time you get one side open, the entire freaking printer is apart. And of course, remembering where every screw goes. That's the good one. And which screw goes where. But anyway, I'm putting it to sleep. I need to come to terms with letting things go, right? Things I can't change. I tried to change everything and I can't, so now it's time to let it go for now. I am going to get it back up and running because it's not going to beat me. Now it's going to cost somewhere between $300 and $600 depending on where I can get these parts. And if it's in the upper hand of $600 and I can just find me another P series or stylus series, I'm going to go that route. Someone offered me $180 for my carts, and really they're $300 in store. So I may run with that if I find a different model printer. Not that I've given up on this one, but I mean, depending on what the price is. If I can't find one within the range I'm looking for, then obviously I'm going to bring my baby back to life and go from there, because I must have more than one printer. Guys, if you're doing DTF, you have to have more than one printer. Okay, through the blessing of Jehovah, I get my paper tomorrow, I get my ink tomorrow, today, because we're in the middle of the morning. And then DHL's drop off is tomorrow for the conversion kit of the P5000. So I'm going to do what I've never done before and just let stuff go. Put this baby to sleep for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to carry on with the P5000. I'm going to also dissect the 4000 and see if maybe I can transfer parts between that, because then it'll be cheaper to purchase parts that are for the 4000. When I saw the print head was for the 4900 and the P5000. So I'm like, I'm not taking apart the 5000 for the 4900. I'll take apart the 4000 for the 4900, right? Makes sense. So I'm just going to be patient, guys, because I have a way out, and it's going to be the P5000. Hopefully, because I got rid of the Cameo. It's gone. So I have no way of printing cuts. I have no way. I mean, I can probably go get a printer, but no, we're not doing that. I shifted all my sales until Monday or Tuesday for Sublimation, right? Because I have to kick into overdrive. I put my baby to sleep. Now I'm waking it up because money needs to come in, right? So I'll be doing Sublimation for the next couple of days, and that's it. Good to go. By the time that happens, we'll be having the P5000 on the road. And guys, and I'm saying this for accountability because I told myself I was done the first day. But I woke up the next day and couldn't be done. And here I am this morning and I can't be done, right? So I need to be done with it, order the parts, and move on. If I say it enough, I'll probably do it. Because I feel like putting it in the corner is quitting on the machine. But my brain needs to know that there is no more I can do, right? No more, unless I have the part. So, pray for me, y'all. Anyway, I'm sorry I haven't been interacting in the group. I've just been in a really, 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 really tight, breathtaking spot. Thankfully, almost all my orders got out but one or two, which were not significant. My significant order, she agreed for Monday, Tuesday, and I'm next day airing it. I just wanted to kind of touch base on what trickled down, right? You know, I had 300 prints I had to print for this lady, and thankfully it's like her 4th or 5th time ordering, so she knows I get them out literally same day almost when she orders from me, because she'll order at nighttime. By the time at 3 o'clock comes, she's paid, I've got the details, I'm printing, it's out. So she worked with me on that, but let's just say I didn't get all the other prints done before this mishap. It would have been a real costly week. But just 2 that haven't reached out to me, and I may have to refund, and that's okay because it's part of the process. I can't change it. I won't stress it. Literally that close to losing my ish. So on a good note, we have the new A-Sub ink that has released, and we get to test it here. And you know I'm comparing. You know I have 3 inks here, or I have like 4 inks here, so I will be doing some comparisons. So maybe that needs to go to sleep for a little bit so I can focus on my sublimation that I have been neglecting, and I know some people need help on it. I'm sorry. This wave of DTF seriously is the next move, and then it blew up because obviously everybody wants black shirts, right? So I stopped my technique on changing them to sublimation. But I need to focus on my YouTube a little bit. I need to quit obsessing on my baby just like a child. You don't want to let it go. That was a horrible comparison. An animal, let's just say, still horrible. Anyway, I'm half asleep. Forget the comparison. I'm going to move on today, all right? I'm going to get back into crafting. Get out of this crazy funk I'm in. And move on, guys. It happens. But I do want to say, my printer hoard, when I had them, always saved me. Because if I had an issue with one, no problem. I'll come back to it later. But I'm printing on the other 4. I'm racking back up on my printers, okay? I didn't want to be this person who had 1 million. But I guess you do need them. So I'm going back to hoarding printers, all right? I'm relapsing, guys. I'm relapsing on my printer addiction. I need to have more than one, right? I thought adding the P5000, okay, I'm going to have an extra one. You know, I need to have extra cards. I need to have extra print heads. It's worth fixing when you can't find it, right? So I'm going to be proactive on that. In fact, see, having this conversation with you guys kind of made me realize I need to go order a print head for the P500 too, just in case. Guys, if this happens, no problem. Switch that puppy out and we good to go. All right? But I'd like to announce I have to give up on it. I've given up. Just as I potty trained her, she dies out on me. Potty training punk. So, all right, guys, that's enough. I need to get to work. I got shirts to do. I kind of wanted to go face-to-face or face-to-video and talk about what happened so you guys can get an idea of why I've been under the rock, right? Because my husband was like, okay, I demand you take the rest of the week off and just relax about it. But I probably drove my husband insane because he was in here trying to make sure that he can help me with everything he can. But reality was there wasn't much he could help me with because I couldn't even help myself to know what the issue was, right? Because there's nothing on this problem. Nothing but the manual's issue. We all know 90% of the times it's not the real case. But maybe here, yes, it is. I need to replace some parts. But he did everything he could to help keep me sane, to help me try to, he helped me research, which was really great because I'm pretty confident that we're going to go through all these kinks together and then he can truly handle everything in here and run it, right? Because I hopefully have other plans with my YouTube and interacting with you guys, so then he can do the back end. But anyway, yeah, man, rough week. That's all right. I had bought 2 bottles of wine and a bottle of Jose Cuervo with Moscato, or with like Oline in it. Thank God I didn't drink, because then I would have been sick and having to deal with this problem. So I just binded up and logged in the hours. But rest assured, I touched every freaking piece on this machine. There's nothing more I can do, alright? Once again, I'm saying that for me, because I still don't believe it. But that's alright. This is the piece that caused all the harm, guys. Do your maintenance once a week. The hell with it, okay? I prefer to do my maintenance and clean all these little parts that got stuck every freaking day if I have to not have to go through what I just went through right now. Alright? So, guys, thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna come out of this rut and be that motivational person I was. But like I said, you guys get the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm not always 100 up here, right? So, I guess it's pretty fair that if I let you guys see how motivated I am, that I let you guys see the other half of that, which is the days that I'm not and how ugly it gets for me. So, anyway, welcome to my world, Crafting with Iron Designs. I appreciate y'all for following my journey and listening to this ramble ass video I got going on here this AM. But hey, happy weekend.